Hi, I'm Karinda.
And I'm Dr. Visham Bhimull from Caribbean Hindustan.
Here's a recap of this past week's Trinidad Bhojpuri words. So on Monday, our first word was a common sensation and equally popular word, junjuni. Of course, Dr. Bhimar will give us the medical term for junjuni.
Right, and yeah, being a doctor working in a medical community in a rural area is good to know a word like that. Yeah, because as you say, it's one of the complications or neuropathy of diabetes, right? Which is pins and needles, or we say paresthesia, or feeling numbness, right? Pins and needles, really. So a lot of these words, they tend to be onomatopoeias. So jun 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 really means jingling, vibrating, and things like that.
Tingling.
There's a yeah, it means a tingle or the jingle or any sort of vibration, right? Because remember, when you have pins and needles, you actually feel as if your foot or your hand vibrating, right?
Yes.
It actually feels like that. So there's a verb as well, junjunawe, which means a jingle, right? And it comes from the same root. But it means so junjuni really is the noun, which means the sensation of feeling pins and needles or tingling in a appendage or body part.
Okay. So is it one word or two words?
Is one word, junjuni, and is
Junjuni.
aspirated junjuni.
Junjuni. All right. So that was Monday's word. And we followed up on Tuesday with kakore. Kakore. And this is a tricky one because it produced multiple translations.
Right, and they're related to other words.
Mhm.
I don't know if you can remind us of what people are saying,
All
kokre
right.
and
So
something else.
someone said kokre and someone said kakore. So the translations that they gave were to curl up. Someone said it meant to clear one's throat, to cough, or to eat.
Right. So kakore, I actually got that word to contribute from South Africa. So what you tend to find is that some of the words related and they kind of sound similar like those. Um, but as per usage, kakore actually means to scrape, which is what I think we gave the meaning as. Kukre yes means curl up, and kakore comes from kai, which means to eat.
Oh, okay. So kakore, not to be confused with kokre or kakore. All right. So kakore means to scrape. So is it like when if you're eating and you just want to scrape the remnants of food on
So,
your
okay,
plate
so
or your leaf?
a lot of people associate sani with mixing food,
Mm-hmm.
but sani by itself means just to mix. So you could use the same verb in the context of mixing cement and water. The sani means to mix. So in the same way, yes, people. I know the word and expression used. There will be like kakore, the leaf means to scrape up the food. Um, or like when you're offering in the Hawan, they would say to scrape up everything before you offer it in the fire, the last bit. So in that context, people will associate it with food, but it means to scrape in a general sense as
Okay,
well.
good. All right. So that's kakore, and that's a proper pronunciation. Kakore.
Yeah, yeah, it's aspirated, so it's kakure. Yeah.
All right. So on Wednesday, we usually have a phrase. And this past Wednesday, we decided to take a line, a very popular line from a very popular Kanchan classic. So folks were busy singing, and then they tried to figure out what exactly is kuch garbad hai.
कुछ गड़बड़ है कुछ गड़बड़ है
So gadbad means confusion, or something being amiss, or something well you don't understand in a particular situation. So and kuch is some. So kuch gadbad hai means uh, something's wrong, something's confusing here, something's not right, something not adding up, something's fishy. So
Mm.
Yeah, and a lot of people would know these expressions from songs. It's quite interesting, but they don't really realize what it actually means. So it was a good idea to utilize that one.
Right. So it's kuch garbar hai.
Yeah, kuch garbad hai.
Funny, when I was much younger, I always thought it was kuchi garbar hai.
I think that there was a mispronunciation in one of the remakes. Yes.
Oh, really? Okay, but
Yeah.
anyway, the proper thing is kuch garbar hai.
Yeah,
All
kuch
right.
garbad hai. Yeah.
Kanchan would be very proud of us. On Thursday, our word was Kisiawi, which was a very fun word. Kisiawi.
And yeah, we keep on choosing words like these because a word sounding like that is not a Hindi word, right? Um, Bunbunawe, we referenced last week. So, and this was an interesting word in the research as well, because I remember my auntie used to say, "Kisiyae means that, well, the person got upset. And I remember when I had put it out in Caribbean Hindustani, it was in Fiji and Mauritius and Suriname said it meant to be ashamed, right? Now, when you look at the word kiss, which is a long E, not aspirated, yes, aspirated kiss. It means actually to be embarrassed or to be annoyed, embarrassed or annoyed. So that in Trinidad Bhojpuri, it maintained the meaning of meaning annoyed. So kiss being the noun, which means annoyed or annoyance, and awe meaning to become. Joining it, that awe suffix to kiss, get kisiawe means to become annoyed, to become angry, upset, or vexed. So that and that's a typical Trinidad Bhojpuri expression.
Is that where we got kismet?
Say it
You
again.
think is that where you think we got the whole phrase or that explanation, kismet so and so?
No, I think that one comes from English. Yeah.
Because actually a lot of people said it sounded like that.
Okay.
Kisiawi. All right. Did you hear that a lot growing up, Dr. Bima? Kisiawi.
Well, I mean, looking at the language, because by the time I was around, my grandparents didn't speak it as much, but trying to understand more about the language and asking and also doing the interviews. Yeah, that's one thing that's help that is usually would help. I started hearing it when people were actively using the language.
All right. And on Friday, we used a food related word, which was kohora.
Right. And I think when you do the graphic and put it on, I share it and Caribbean understanding. So, and there's a conversation that we always have. So in India, there are different kinds of squash and pumpkins, right? The kind that seems to be found in UP Bihar, where our ancestors come from, is a particular type that was called kohora, even in Hindi, kohora, right? And the type found more into Delhi is kaddu, right? So even though there are two different kinds of pumpkins or squash, um, the word or one word would be ascribed to all pumpkin and squash in different parts of the diaspora. So you don't hear kaddu at all in Trinidad. You hear it in Fiji and you also hear it maybe in Suriname. Because the indentured laborers they actually were recruited later on more to the come into the central region where the word kaddu would be more popular. Whereas the first people who came would have been from Bihar. So the word they would use and the squash they would encounter would be the kohora. So that's one thing. I know people would have confused it with kohar.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's very nasal makes a difference. So kohora and then kohora, which actually is nasal, is another term for the kohar, which is the potter.
And there you have it. That takes care of another week's worth of Trinidad Bhojpuri words, phrase, pronunciation, and of course, translation. Impressive feedback, and most of all, it was also sentimental for a lot of people, as it has been since the start of Trinidad Bhojpuri on Facebook as well as on radio. So many of us who don't have a conversation or converse regularly in Trinidad Bhojpuri, it's also connected with childhood memories. So it is a beautiful, beautiful experience for lots of people. And again, thank you so much for your feedback and for inboxing, for participating on Facebook as well as on air. So thank you so much, Dr. Visham Bhimull.
Thanks for the opportunity, and just to remind your viewers, you can get more of this content, song translations, grammar points in Trinidad, Bhojpuri, and Caribbean Hindustani on Caribbean Hindustani Facebook page, YouTube page, as well as you can visit the website caribbeanhindustani.org.
I'm Karen Das, and you can check out more on my links below. This has been Trinidad Bhojpuri Week Wrap Up. And once again, thank you. Bye.